We will delve into politics today. And the question that prompted this political discussion reads, I think this person is from Canada, I don't know. Question: this is an election year in America. The country will elect a new president in 4 months. Okay, in 3 months, because I got this question last month. I will travel to the US to cast my vote for the first time as an American citizen. Is there a Bible solution of how Christians should approach this? Okay, she's traveling to come and vote, and for the first time. Okay, solution. There is no clear Bible verse commanding us to vote in a national election where citizens could cast a vote for their primary political leader. In the Old Testament time, God established a monarchy. The monarchy did not allow the people to cast a ballot. When the people needed a king, the Lord assigned a priest to go and anoint a king for them. That's what happened in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, kings and emperors like Romans were not voted in by the people. The kings and emperors, they announced their successor while on their deathbed. While they are dying, they will announce who will replace them, who will come after them. That's how people are appointed. There's no vote going on. Since democracy introduced by the Greeks was established and carried out in numerous ways internationally, the system in place in the United States is the world standard, using various methods and technologies to cast vote. So, we must all make our own personal decision to be responsible citizens by going to the voting booth and casting our vote. That's what responsible citizens do. Because according to the Bible, the government is a divine institution ordained by God to promote justice, maintain order, and protect the people. The government is an instrument of God's authority and a means to administer his laws and principles, as you can see from the following Bible verses by the Apostle Paul, who said that human government has been instituted by God and invested with legitimate authority. Romans 3:1. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted. And those who do so will bring judgment on themselves. For rulers hold no terror for those who do right, but for those who do wrong. Romans 3:4. For the one in authority, anyone in authority, is God's servant for people's good. But if you do wrong, be afraid. For rulers do not bear the sword for no reason. They are God's servant, agent of wrath to bring punishment on the wrongdoer. They are God's servants. Questioner, you said you are coming to the US to vote for the first time. That is good to hear, because it's difficult to convince Christians to vote for a political party when there is no Bible backup. other than God established all authority and the rulers are servants of God. Because voting was not known when the Bible was written. There's no voting going on. For your solution on what to expect when voting, people behave differently. We all have different preferences, especially when it comes to voting. Some vote depending on what is useful to them, what they will gain from the person if he goes in that office. For example, they look at what the candidate brought to the table regarding what they will do. So there's a problem to that. Big problem. When people vote for a candidate based on the promises he makes, is that the candidate, when he gets into the office, not that he doesn't want to fulfill, of course he wants to fulfill his promises, but there's a problem. The House, the Senate will put a stumbling block on that president fulfilling promises he made during campaign, especially if they are not in the same party. Their reason for that is that they don't want the president to be re-elected. Presidency is made easy when they have the majority of their party in the House and Senate. If not, that president will have difficulty passing any bill. Passing a bill will be very, very difficult for that president. Politics is a dirty game, very dirty. And that is why Christians do not want to enter the political profession. They throw mud at each other. Another hurdle is that after millions of ballots counting the voters, then here comes the electoral college to decide who is going to be elected president and vice president of the United States from their guidelines. Sometimes you wonder why the vote then. In 1993, almost 30 years ago, I researched the two main parties. Conservative are Republicans and liberals are Democrats. I chose one whose policy I liked. Since then, anytime I vote for the candidate in the party. This is to be loyal to the party that I belong to. I've not voted any other political party. This year, I am wondering if I should vote because the Democrats used a wise and effective political strategy when they offered millions of Americans, including me, student loan forgiveness. If they have made this student loan forgiveness a campaign promise, no one will have listened or take them seriously. No. They gave you the money now. You owe them a vote. What is strategy? The person who came up with this strategy needs to be recommended. They have tied many hands with this one strategy that takes the burden of repaying loan off people's shoulder. My conscience will not let me vote otherwise. Neither do my family and I want to cross over. This is a serious strategy. I will pray that God puts the right person in the presidency seat. As Christian, that's what we should be doing. Continue to pray for the peace and prosperity of this great country. Because if this great nation prosper, we too will prosper. According to Jeremiah 29:7. Seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which I've carried you into exile. Pray to the Lord for the country, because if it prospers, you too will prosper. Questioner, if you don't have any if you don't have any business to transact in the US, if just to travel just to come and vote, you can take your US passport to the American embassy in your city. American has embassy in all countries. Take it there and ask them how to vote by mail. I believe that is possible. People vote by mail. I haven't voted by mail. I've been in the country. So ask them. I'm sure it's possible. Just how you can vote without traveling. But if you have things that you piled up you want to do when you come to vote, fine. Okay? Thank you for this question. I like the question, politics. Please stay tuned for the next topic coming up soon.